NM cable, often referred to as Romex, is commonly used in residential electrical installations. When installing NM cable in a crawl space, understanding the National Electrical Code, or NEC, requirements is crucial for ensuring safety and compliance. The question focuses on NEC requirements beyond cable support for NM cable installed in the crawl space of a dwelling. It specifies that this is not an unfinished basement or attic, where additional protection requirements might apply according to sections 334.15 and 334.23 of the NEC. The answer indicates that there are no other NEC requirements specifically for NM cable installed in crawl spaces, other than cable support as required by section 334.30. Section 334.30 is the primary focus when discussing NM cable installations in crawl spaces. This section mandates that NM cable be supported and secured by staples, cable ties, straps, or similar fittings designed and installed so as not to damage the cable. The NEC outlines specific intervals for these supports to ensure the cable is properly secured and protected from physical damage. The general rule is that NM cable must be supported and secured within 12 inches, or 300 mm, of every box, cabinet fitting, or other cable termination. Additionally, the cable must be supported at intervals not exceeding 4½ feet, or 1.4 meters, along its run. These support intervals prevent the cable from sagging or becoming subject to strain, which could lead to insulation damage and potential electrical hazards. There are exceptions to the general rule for support intervals. For example, where NM cable is fished between access points, such as through walls or floors, support is not required if the cable is inaccessible without damaging the building finish. This exception recognizes the practical limitations of adding supports in concealed spaces. However, even in these situations, the cable must be supported within 12 inches of any terminations, such as at junction boxes or devices. Another important aspect of NM cable installation is protection from physical damage. While the question specifies that this is not an unfinished basement or attic, which have specific protection requirements in sections 334.15 and 334.23, it's still essential to consider potential physical damage in crawl spaces. Crawl spaces can be subject to moisture, pests, and physical disturbances, which can affect the integrity of the NM cable. Although the NEC does not mandate specific protection methods beyond support in typical crawl spaces, best practices suggest taking precautions to minimize the risk of damage. This can include routing the cable in a way that avoids areas prone to moisture or physical contact, and using protective measures where necessary. For example, if the crawl space is used for storage or is subject to frequent traffic, it may be advisable to run the NM cable through conduit or other protective sleeving. This provides an extra layer of protection against accidental damage from objects or for traffic. Furthermore, it is important to ensure that the NM cable is not exposed to excessive moisture. Crawl spaces are often damp environments, and prolonged exposure to moisture can degrade the cable's insulation, leading to shorts or ground faults. If moisture is a concern, consider using moisture-resistant NM cable or taking steps to improve the crawl space's ventilation and drainage. In addition to physical protection, proper grounding and bonding are critical for ensuring electrical safety. The grounding conductor within the NM cable must be properly connected to all metal boxes, enclosures, and equipment. This provides a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, allowing the circuit breaker or fuse to trip and to energize the circuit in the event of a fault. Proper bonding ensures that all metal parts are at the same electrical potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. The NEC provides detailed requirements for grounding and bonding in Article 250, which should be carefully followed during NM cable installations. When installing NM cable, it is essential to use the correct size cable for the intended load. The ampacity of the cable must be sufficient to carry the maximum current that the circuit will draw, without exceeding the cable's temperature rating. The NEC provides tables that specify the allowable ampacities for different sizes of NM cable, based on their insulation type and installation conditions. It is also important to consider voltage drop when determining the appropriate cable size. Voltage drop occurs when the voltage at the end of a long cable run is lower than the voltage at the source. Excessive voltage drop can cause lights to dim, motors to run inefficiently, and electronic equipment to malfunction. The NEC recommends limiting voltage drop to 3% for branch circuits and 5% for feeders. To minimize voltage drop, use larger conductors for longer runs. The NEC also requires that NEC cable be protected against overcurrent. Overcurrent protection devices, such as circuit breakers and fuses, are designed to trip and de-energize the circuit in the event of an overload or short circuit. The size of the overcurrent protection device must be matched to the ampacity of the NEC cable. Using an overcurrent protection device that is too large can allow the cable to overheat and potentially cause a fire. The NEC provides tables that specify the maximum allowable overcurrent protection for different sizes of NEC cable. Proper installation techniques are also crucial for ensuring the safety and reliability of NEC cable installations. When running NEC cable, avoid sharp bends or kinks that can damage the insulation. Use cable staples or straps to secure the cable to framing members, being careful not to damage the cable. Avoid running NEC cable through metal studs or framing members without proper protection, such as using grommets or bushings to prevent abrasion. When connecting NEC cable to devices or equipment, use the appropriate connectors and fittings. Ensure that all connections are tight and secure, and that the conductors are properly insulated. Avoid overstripping the conductors, as this can expose bare wire and create a potential shock hazard. All electrical work should be performed by qualified and licensed electricians who are familiar with the NEC and local electrical codes. Electrical work can be dangerous, and improper installation can lead to serious injury or property damage. Hiring a professional ensures that the work is done safely and correctly. In summary, while the NEC primarily focuses on cable support in section 334.30 for NEC cable installations in crawl spaces, it is essential to consider other factors such as protection from physical damage, moisture, and proper grounding and bonding. Following best practices and adhering to all applicable NEC requirements ensures a safe and reliable electrical installation. Remember to consult the latest edition of the NEC and local electrical codes for the most up-to-date requirements and regulations. Always prioritize safety and seek professional assistance when needed. Considering that 334.30 is the defining factor of NEC cable usage in crawl spaces, let's focus on that section and interpret it more precisely. NEC cable must be secured by staples, cable ties, straps, or similar fittings designed and installed so as not to damage the cable. This means selecting the right type of fastener is important. Firstly, staples should be listed for use with NEC cable. These staples typically have a shoulder that prevents them from being driven in too tightly, which could damage the cable's insulation. Secondly, cable ties can be used, but they must be listed and identified for securing and supporting NEC cable. Standard plastic zip ties are generally not acceptable unless they are specifically designed for this purpose. Thirdly, straps are another option, and they should also be listed for use with NEC cable. Metal straps should have smooth edges to prevent abrasion of the cable's jacket. When installing these supports, it's crucial to avoid over-tightening them. Over-tightening can compress the cable, damaging the insulation and potentially creating a fire hazard. The support should be snug enough to hold the cable in place without causing any deformation or stress. In addition to the support intervals mentioned earlier, the NEC also addresses situations where NEC cable is run through bored holes in framing members. When NEC cable is installed through holes bored in studs, joists, or rafters, the edge of the hole must be at least 1 1/4 inches or 31.8 millimeters from the nearest edge of the framing member. This provides a degree of protection against nails or screws that might be driven into the framing member during subsequent construction or renovation work. If the hole is less than 1 1/4 inches from the edge, a steel plate or bushing must be installed to protect the cable from penetration by fasteners. This requirement is outlined in section 300.4. Another important consideration is the proper routing of NEC cable. Avoid running NM cable in contact with metal surfaces or sharp edges that could damage the cable's jacket. If the cable must pass over or near metal objects, use a protective sleeve or raceway to provide physical separation. Also, be mindful of potential heat sources, such as recessed lighting fixtures or heating ducts. NM cable should not be installed in close proximity to these heat sources, as excessive heat can degrade the cable's insulation. The NEC specifies minimum clearances for NM cable from heat-producing equipment. In addition to the general requirements for NM cable, there are also specific rules for installing NM cable in manufactured homes. Section 334.10 specifies that NM cable is permitted to be used in manufactured homes, but it must be installed in accordance with Article 550, which covers the wiring methods and materials used in manufactured homes. Article 550 includes requirements for cable support, protection, and grounding that are specific to the unique construction and electrical systems of manufactured homes. When working with NM cable, it's important to be aware of the different types of NM cable available. The most common type is NMB cable, which has a flame-retardant, moisture-resistant outer jacket and is suitable for use in dry locations. Another type is NMC cable, which is designed for use in damp or corrosive locations. NMC cable has a moisture-resistant outer jacket and is suitable for use in barns, sheds, and other agricultural buildings. When selecting NM cable, be sure to choose the appropriate type for the intended application and environmental conditions. Finally, it's important to emphasize the importance of following all applicable electrical codes and regulations. The NEC is a comprehensive set of rules and guidelines that are designed to ensure the safe installation and use of electrical systems. Local electrical codes may also have additional requirements or restrictions that must be followed. Always consult with a qualified and licensed electrician to ensure that all electrical work is performed in accordance with the applicable codes and regulations. In conclusion, while Section 334.30 of the NEC is the primary focus when discussing NM cable installations in crawl spaces, it's important to consider all aspects of the installation, including cable support, protection from physical damage, proper grounding and bonding, and adherence to all applicable codes and regulations. By following these guidelines, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. When installing NM cable, always de-energize the circuit before working on the wiring. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Inspect the cable for any signs of damage before installing it. If the cable is damaged, do not use it. Replace it with a new cable. Properly train anyone who will be installing NM cable, emphasizing code requirements, safety, and techniques to avoid damaging the wires.